Worship changes us. This is why the Bible is so forceful in its condemnation of idolatry. If you worship something that isn't God, money or power for instance, then there is a very real danger that you will become like the thing you worship. But if we worship God, if we sing God's praises, if we look long and lovingly at Jesus, if we receive his words of forgiveness, his bread of life, then we become like him. All of us, with unveiled faces, seeing the glory of God, are being transformed into the same image, says St. Paul. It is for all these reasons that we must take worship very seriously. It's not that God needs our praises. Rather, we need to be made people who are thankful and adoring. We are far too easily in love with ourselves. And because we are made for heaven, we are made for worship. It should be our joyful duty to be part of the worshipping community of our local church every Sunday. We should also try to observe the major festivals of the church year, especially Christmas, the Feast of the Incarnation, and Holy Week and Easter, when we recall Christ's passion, death and resurrection. And even if our church is not one that has the Eucharist as its main act of worship every Sunday, we should make sure that we receive Holy Communion as regularly as we can and always at Christmas and Easter. As we have explored, the sacraments are channels of grace and living encounters with the risen Christ. Finally, Scripture also has some stern warnings about worship. I despise your festivals, says God. Take away from me the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the melody of your harps, but let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream, says the prophet Amos. For unless worship is changing us, so that our concerns and priorities are shaped by the concerns and priorities of God, and unless we are seeking God's justice and righteousness for the world, then our worship is worthless.